And this is the Cornbelt Cowboy, the one called Manders, and you're listening to Wrestling Cheers. Woo!
Making your way in the world today takes everything you got. Taking a break from all your worries sure would help a lot. Wouldn't you like to get away? Sometimes you want to go where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came. You want to go where you can see that troubles are all the same. You want to go where everybody knows your name. You want to go where you can see that troubles are all the same. You want to go where everybody knows your name.
And welcome back to Wrestling Cheers, where everybody knows your name, especially when you're the one called Manders. This is Wrestling Cheers, where we like to talk about things going on the Northeast independent wrestling scene. We preview shows, we review shows, and sometimes we even have interviews along the way. This is a special interview episode with the one called Manders. And I am your host. I am Justin Summers, and Wrestling Cheers is brought to you by the Trending Topics Network, Midwest Territory, and Key on Sports. Please rate, review, and subscribe wherever you listen to fine podcasts, whether it be Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, TuneIn, YouTube, Spotify, iHeartRadio, or Podbean, WrestlingCheers.podbean.com. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, Facebook.com/WrestlingCheers, Twitter.com/WrestlingCheers, and Instagram.com/WrestlingCheers. Email, if you so choose to desire, WrestlingCheers@gmail.com, and we have the merch store over at whatamaneuver.net. Like I said, this is a special interview episode with the one called Manders. Now, this was recorded about a month and a half ago. This was recorded even before Manders made his AIW debut, and even since then, he has had 2 matches in AIW, and this was right before UXWA and his debut, actually, in the Northeast Ohio scene, going up against Big Twan Tucker, and later on, at Day 2 of the JT Lightning Invitational Tournament, or actually it was, part of Day 2, but the Chandler Biggins Memorial Tag Team Tournament, we would see Big Twan Tucker versus Manders one more time. We talked about that last week on the show, so we won't get too much into it right now. Not much else to say. You know, I got to sit down with him for this little interview. I think it's about 45 minutes worth. Get into some topics here and there, and talk a little bit about, Southern Underground Pro and a couple of other things. So, without any further ado, get you into the interview right after this.
You wake up every morning, get yourself out of bed, and look in the mirror, and realize that you don't recognize the person looking back at you. You don't feel as whole as you should. You feel about half empty. You get in your car and go about your daily activities, and you think about all the opportunities that you missed. Opportunities you didn't take. Doors you left closed instead of open. You think about all the things that you could have done and the things that you chose to do instead. Well, that's where I come in. My name is Dr. Daniel C. Rockingham, and I am not only a motivational speaker, but I am a personal development coach, and my 3-principle system has changed the lives of countless people all over the world. I invite all of you to stay with me today and listen as I help you change your lives and give all of you a new beginning.
All right, we're back here on the podcast, and I am being honored to sitting
come on.
sitting across the table from one called Manders. How's it going, man?
Doing pretty good. How are you? Thanks for having me on.
Thanks for coming to Ohio, man.
Oh, hey, I mean that's where I live at, so at the time being.
Okay.
Yeah, in Dayton, but being here in Cleveland's cool. Last night at AIW was nuts.
Yeah.
Whole show. Yeah. The desire, aspirations, and all that good stuff. And then here today for UXWA Entertainment. Yeah. Big Twan Tucker. It's gonna be a good night. Yeah.
That's gonna be awesome. But people who are hearing this are gonna have that match is already gonna be in the past. Weird timeline thing going on there. But yeah, dude, like you had the best vantage point of that dive, not the dive, but that
big craziness with Mad Justice and Bishop.
Like, we had all of them from all of us from the floor. And then when I seen yours, I was like, that's the money shot right there. That's the being right there. And then the fall.
Right. Yeah. I didn't even know I was like going to want to sit there for the show. I was like trying to find like certain spots. I was like, maybe I'll sit in the back, maybe I'll sit, somewhere. And then I sat up there, and then they just, they were beating the crap out of each other, right? Yeah. So then I was just like, this is insane. And then they, went up on that table in the commentator booth, and I was like, I have to turn it on, like turn the video on. Like this is a legendary moment, once in a lifetime moment. Like it was freaking insane. So I had to. And both those guys are great. I got to wrestle Bishop at SUP in Nashville, and we beat the absolute dog shit out of each other. Man. And I loved every minute of it. And Matt Justice is a good dude, so I just did it for them, honestly.
And it's crazy to see how well those two have established their names just recently, and then having that moment now, right? Because right now a lot of people are going, "Oh, Matt Justice and his opponent." Like I'd seen a tweet like that, and I'm like, eventually you're going to say both. Like you're going to know both
absolutely.
names.
I think for Bishop, his coming out party was the Collective.
Yes,
was Slumber Massacre,
Slumber Party Massacre,
Slumber Party Massacre. Yeah, for AIW's WrestleMania show. I think that was his coming out party. To be honest with you, I agree. I knew who he was before then. I knew he's a good looking dude, big dude, strong, all that stuff. But
young,
he's 21. That's freaking nuts. And I knew about him. I knew who he was, but I think that moment, the preparation work for him for that particular match against Dominic Guarini,
it's amazing too. And if you watch his progression, just the look wise, when he first started, he looked like he looked like a kid, and now he's just he now fits the part.
Yeah,
now he looks like a wrestler.
He's like a Sid Justice now,
dude. Yes. He's got a lot of intensity with him, man.
Yeah.
But dude, I'm so psyched that you're here.
I'm happy to be here. I've been wanting to come up here for a long time.
How long have you been wrestling?
It's only 2 years. Okay. April was my 2 years.
Okay.
But I've always been a wrestling fan, and just watching Ring of Honor and you watch, your trainer Tyler Black and or Seth Rollins, whatever you want to call him.
Yeah.
And he used to come up here all the time, and him having matches with Johnny Gargano and guys like Shane Hollister, who's, from the Davenport, Iowa area, and just that kind of stuff. So it's just you always want to do what your mentors did.
Yeah.
Right. And and obviously this area is a rich area of pro wrestling, and
oh god, yeah,
that's what I want. That's what I want. So yeah, I'm excited about it.
I was not around for the Tyler Black days,
right?
By the time I started coming, he was at least developmental at that time.
Yeah, probably.
So I had just missed him. Dang. But still, I'd always hear the stories just how well road traveled he was, and
he would drive 8 hours by himself.
Yeah,
to Cleveland from Davenport.
It's kind of an easy drive.
No, it is, but
after you get through Chicago, it's just
wild. It's just wild though. He did that by himself. No one. there was a couple of times I think Shane Hollister would go with him, but at that time I think Merrick Brave was hurt, and there's kind of no one else. And obviously Seth loves wrestling, right? So he's going to do it.
Oh yeah.
And it's kind of the same thing with me, because I'm actually moving back to that area in a couple weeks. Probably gonna do the same thing. Oh, yeah. We were actually talking about it the other day. I was texting him and saying I feel like it's weird doing the same stuff, And he said, just keep at it. So.
And there's not much, for at least it seems like to me from an outsider, there's not much there. And I'm not talking just regular stuff. I'm talking about wrestling,
out in that Davenport area.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think it's that. No, yeah. No, I get you. Obviously, it's Iowa. It's what's there? Cornfields. Yeah, ha ha ha. But
that in Nebraska.
But no, Chicago's 2 hours away.
Yeah.
St. Louis is 4. Mm-hmm. Kansas City's about 4. Mm-hmm. Des Moines about 3, especially with Revolver, being there, which is a big thing. And then, you can just go up north to Milwaukee with Silas's place that he's got, and then you got also Eric Cannon's place, or that area of Minnesota. Yeah. So, there's a little area there for sure. Good loops and stuff, but. Hey, but you're a wrestler though, so you got to make those hours, you got to make those miles. That's kind of part of the gimmick, is it not? That's how I take it, at least.
Dude, the same thing. Like I've mentioned to you and my listeners don't know this. Like I was an over the road truck driver, so I understand. Like,
right, exactly.
I understand a lot of those miles. And like even if I should say if I wasn't like my kind of job and my kind of like, because now I'm local and everything, but I would still even be willing to make those just as a fan.
Absolutely.
Just because sometimes too, and this is what I don't know if other wrestling fans get, is like getting out of like what maybe is your comfort zone, your home zone, and just picking a random promotion. Like, I've been down to stuff.
Yeah.
You know, that was the first show that we sponsored. And it was a story that I told. And like with Jesse, I was like, well, I wanted to sponsor their February show because that's when they were supposed to have a show.
Yeah.
But things didn't work out. And they were like, well, we got January. And I'm like, I don't know if I'll be able to do it.
And you did anyway.
But it was announced Gage and Ice. And I was like, oh, I'm coming.
That was a good show. I Am King.
Oh, dude, that was great. Your debut?
Yeah, my debut. Yeah.
But like picking like a show like that where I didn't know many people and just like experiencing stuff that I see on TV, or I did PWF once. Before they shut down.
Pros and Freedom, yep.
So it's like just picking that and going, I want to travel there. And like there's other places I want to go to that are not in this comfort zone. And there's great promotions. And like even from a fan's point of view, you could like do the travels.
Absolutely. No, absolutely. Yeah. My whole life like has been uncomfortable. Yeah. Like in the aspects of like I like being comfortable and uncomfortability, or however way you want to say that. Yeah. So it's like because like I grew up in, I was born and raised in Maryland, and then went to go play college football at Iowa, and then now doing this wrestling thing, and I don't see myself as a guy that sits at a office in a cubicle. Yeah, you know what I mean. There's nothing wrong against that. It's just my whole life since I was a little kid, I always wanted to explore. Yeah, didn't know exactly what, but I always wanted that, and here we are. It's kind of funny how it works, right? And I think, too, there's a lot of cool places to discover. So many places, man. When I first went over the road, like, there was things that I'd always heard of, and I'm like, I really got to try this. Like, for example, like, food to me is so huge. Oh, yeah. Hands down. Absolutely. Whataburger. Yeah. Whataburger's so good. The story that I think I've told, I don't know if I have or not, it's been so long, but the first time I went to a Whataburger, like this was when I was over the road, we happened to find a place where a truck could fit, like at the shopping plaza where they had a Whataburger right out front. And as I walk in, the guy was like, welcome back. And I'm like, I've never been to a Whataburger in my life. Right. And he's like, what? And if you figure, like, saying that to someone in the middle of Texas, I've never been to a Whataburger. Yeah. It's like, it's like cardinal sin. Yeah, like, what are you doing? So I went in there the first time, and like I absolutely loved that place. So like I got to experience like that, In and Out, Wawa for the first time. Wawa's good. Well, I won't use that as one of the questions, but like because you've traveled a lot. Where you at, Sheetz or Wawa? I'm gonna say Maryland roots too. Yeah, so I was gonna say I'm gonna say Wawa because like I'm biased. Okay, but Sheetz is pretty good. And then obviously if I'm gonna pick the number one, it's Casey's. Okay. Casey's General Store, hands down. And I'm also a little biased on that one too, but you know, nothing beats, breakfast pizza. I can't have it all the time, obviously, but every once in a blue moon, it's pretty good. I think I went out to Casey's, well, I should say, because company that I applied for went out to do their orientation, but I began sent home was TMC, which is their home terminal is in Des Moines. Yeah. And like I remember passing one of those, and I'm like, oh, that looks kind of cool. Yeah. I think that's the other thing. They're everywhere now. They're in Ohio now. Where? Yeah, like near the Dayton, Indiana, so it's right by Ohio. Indiana. Yeah. Okay, that I figured that's where it makes sense because it's kind of like bleeding in a little. Yep. They go all the way down to like from like Arkansas to like South Dakota. It's insane. And the crazy thing outside, like, because everybody's like really concentrated on Sheetz and Wawa, but like here we have Get-Go. Yep, Get-Go's good. Get-Go's, I love Get-Go. Yeah. But then there's Buc-ee's, there's QT. There's like all these like QT's a good one too. Like there's so many that I'm forgetting, but I know they're everywhere. But for some reason, I don't know why people are concentrated on that 1 and 2 punch. Maybe because I don't know. Maybe because they just have everything, I guess. But the other day I went to a Speedway, near Columbus, and Speedway was like it had everything. I mean, not all Speedways have everything, but that one had it all. It had sandwiches making. You could do this or that. Speedway Cafe. Yeah, Speedway Cafe. That's exactly what it was. Yeah, it's like I've had because I kind of judge them on how they put together like a sub sandwich, kind of like that, and like theirs were small. Yeah. And I was actually very like heartbroken. I'm like, you're not on that realm of like, of the Sheetz, of the Wawa, of the Get-Go. But like, I've fallen in love with their wraps because their wraps are pretty good. They're like, I saw them. I haven't had one yet, but like 2 for $4. Oh, that's clutch right there. That's the best combo. You make Banks 2 for $4.25 or whatever. Yeah. I'm all about it. Yeah. So
now that you live in Ohio and you have the Iowa background.
Oh, right, yeah.
How do you feel about the OH?
Oh, IO.
So you can finish it.
Yeah. No, it's similar. Like we used to the IOWA, so it's it's funny. I've had it. I've been here for about almost a year. And, and it's been a great time. Like I've enjoyed a lot of it. I learned a lot. Just being as a person, a man. Pro wrestling. Like it kind of got me out of my comfort zone. Like being in Iowa. Like I wanted to travel, right? I want to go all these places, and I want to be the best wrestler I can possibly be. And obviously, in order to do that, I think it's that want quality, right? Like, you got to want to do this. You got to go out here and do this. Like, you got to have athleticism and charisma and stuff. Yeah, but that only takes you so far. I think you got to have that want to. And there's this line that one of my coaches at Iowa gave me. God gives. There's no God-given ability for attitude and effort. Takes none, and that blew me away when he told me that. So it takes zero God-given ability to give attitude and effort. Yeah, and I just ever since that day, it's literally like one of my like 10 commandments. You know what I mean? Like it's just blew me away, and like I live by it because that's how if you want it, go get it. No one else is going to do it for you. Exactly. You can try to get other people to help you, but I mean, there'll be people helping you out, of course. Like obviously, without my parents or my mentors, et cetera, like I wouldn't be where I am today. I wouldn't be the person I am. You wouldn't be the person you are today for for all your like accomplishments and stuff like that too. But like that's just how I feel. Oh yeah, yeah. I get that from like my point of view of sometimes if I want an interview or something, I'll go out and get it, or I'll work the right channels to get to that way. Right. I mean, granted, you actually one of the few that actually reached out to me, and I was like, of course, there's always the short list of people that I haven't reached out to yet, but eventually I want to. Right. And so when you reached out, I was like, well, I have a great relationship with like Southern Underground Pro. I was there the day you debuted. I love like a lot of people from the promotion, and you helped me out, support me on like social media and stuff like that. Yeah, absolutely. I want to really quick. I actually do want to get into Southern Underground Pro. Yeah, and. You had to fill some big shoes. Yeah, if you think about it, like it's crazy. I was a huge fan just right off the rip of Teddy King. Yep, he one of the best bad guys out there. Mm-hmm. And when I did go to that PWF show, I saw him versus MJF. Oh yeah. Yeah. I remember that. Yeah, so good just to see these two guys go against. And then you come in. I think it was right after that it came out that he was going to step down, and you had to fill those shoes. And I think you're doing good. I appreciate that. Yeah. No. I remember like I went down there for the first time. Just went down there, said, "Hey, I'm gonna be here." Blah blah blah. They were like, "All right, cool." I did everything. I was, set up the ring, nice and everything. And they were like, we really see you, with Teddy, because you guys have the same like background, in a way. Yeah. So it just made total sense, right? And then when that happened and he stepped down, and I was like, all right, it's go time. I mean, it was already go time to begin with, but like it's that like you get it. Yeah, you're getting put in, he's getting taken out, and like we're gonna go be off to the race. Like I just watched the last show on independentwrestling.tv. Oh yeah, and like you had the one little moment where you kind of like stepped in on commentary during Jaden Newman's match, and like you just stated how it was, like, oh, like he has to get a win and all this stuff, and it was just like that little bit of attitude, like getting there on commentary. Even like I like the line, like I came out to his match, he come out to mine. No, it was just me. No, speak out here now. Yeah. It was good. Yeah, good, man. Yeah, like I study everybody. Like I try to make sure I know everybody, and like it's just like I said, one of those things is that want to, right? So like if I think that's the difference between a person winning and person losing. Yeah, like like here's another line for you. Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't want to work hard. Right? So like you got to. It's the same concept. So you got to do those extra things that that's not just that raw talent or that raw, special person, special thing about a person. So yeah. And then you get introduced into the base of the storyline where you're, like I said, taking Teddy King's place, but you're also picking up kind of like starting, but picking up the feud right with Jaden Newman. Yeah, and like we're both two young guys that want to make it in this business, right? So like. I'm gonna scratch and crawl. Well, I can't even speak. Scratch and claw. Yeah. I haven't drinking this morning, I promise. I have to do those things, and he wants to do the same. So, I'm not going to let him just walk all over me, and I'm not going to do the same thing, so, yeah.
And I think with a company like Southern Underground Pro, that fits like so many like storylines that they have going on.
They got some steam, man. They really do. They're on fire. Absolutely. And, like when they started out, they had, way different guys than they do now.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's kind of like the same, like you see like the tree or the mountain where, you had guys like AJ Gray and Kurt Stallion and you had all those guys. And then now they're off doing, I don't want to say bigger, better things, but like they're off doing like, some really good stuff.
Yeah.
And like, and it's, I guess you can add Mance too in there too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, what I'm saying though. And then you got these new crop of people. And I mean, that's the whole like thing, what's happening right now in the world of pro wrestling. Mm-hmm. It's everywhere, and it trickles all the way down, to this, the independent scene, like the independent scene level. So yeah, it's a fun time.
It's always the next man up mentality, and I think that I like that. It's like when WWE takes somebody, or now with AEW, like taking somebody, you're going to have somebody who's going to get time to shine.
Exactly.
And I think that's what I really love about independent wrestling.
Yep.
Is I'm not one of the hardcore like critics of WWE. There's things I like, things I don't like, but I'll just immerse myself into this.
Yeah.
Because like finding out like guys like you, I'm a huge fan. Like as soon as I seen him on Sup of all places.
Yeah.
Marco Stunt.
And
that was before
he did. Same thing. Marco's one of those dudes.
Before he did GCW. I was like, I love this guy. And then I watched him just bigger and bigger. And now like
kaboom. Yeah.
Dudes, and now his brother is starting to wrestle too, which is crazy.
And Logan's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I want to see them, like I haven't got a chance to see them actually as a tag team, but I know like that's something they have going. And the thing was Marco, and I put this out on Twitter, like how many tag teams does this dude have? Like he had him and Jake, I'm forgetting his last name, but it was the tag team name was Too Tall, I think it was.
What promotion?
Ooh, put me on the spot, like a Chicago. I don't know whether it was AAW or I think it was.
Oh, him and Jake something?
No, it wasn't something.
I was about to say Jake something was with Kurt. Hey Jake, AEW. I don't know. I remember Marco wrestling at AEW, but he didn't do a tag, I don't think.
I can't remember. That's what's bad, because it was a tag team for a second, and then right after that, him and Cabana Man Dan with They Might Be Giants, and then he has injury, and now he has his brother too, and I'm like, dude, how many do you need? It's crazy.
Yeah. Marco's a great guy. Mm-hmm. He really is. I remember his days when we would go down to IWA.
Yeah,
and I remember I met him. I was like, how old is this kid? Like there's no way he's like 21 or whatever. And he's like, yeah, I'm like 22, and it just blew me away.
And when he first came out to his first Sup show, as soon as he goes to the curtain, he goes, "Hi, I'm Tiny," or something like that. Yeah, just like he popped the crowd immediately, and they felt him.
Oh my god, yeah.
And the match that I hated to see, but at the same time I wanted months ahead of time, him versus Brett.
Oh yeah.
Good God.
Yeah, Brett is a behemoth.
Exactly. And
that is one bad dude.
Him and O'Shea, I'm waiting for them to break out more.
Oh yeah, and they are like O'Shea moved to Baltimore actually.
Yeah.
To train with Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. So he's trying. Yeah. Same with Brett. Brett gets around the Tennessee area, and he's branching out more in Indiana, Ohio, and the South. So yeah, those guys are like Sup has something really special. It really does. Mm-hmm. It's got it's got obviously the underground vibe, and it's making Nashville, Tennessee, wrestling relevant again, I think.
I mean, yeah, because now you have GCW.
Yeah, that was huge.
Yeah.
In the same venue.
Mm-hmm.
Unreal. I can't wait for that.
I don't know how packed that place is.
Oh, it's going to be packed.
It has to be equivalent to like when Gage came. Because
Probably.
that seemed to be like, because that only show I went to, but that seemed to be like one of the most.
It was like the biggest pre-sale or biggest, crowd that they've ever had. And there was a lot of people there.
Yes.
Yeah. So, and that's not a big venue either.
No.
I think that what makes it also cool too is it's got like that. It's it's not a big giant bright light venue. Yeah. It's a nitty gritty place. And that's what makes it special, I think.
And it looks, I don't want to say like it looks really well on camera. Like it's like this majestic thing, but it fits. It fits that Southern Underground pro style.
And Swerve Video, Swerve's the man.
Good.
Dude.
He's so good.
So good. And then you got Jesse on the mic, man.
I was just telling him, because we'll text from time to time.
Love Jesse.
I don't know what I like him doing more, commentating or ring announcing. And I
don't know either. That's a tough question.
I likened him to this area, which I don't know how familiar we're with him, but Pedro DeLuca.
I've heard of him, yeah.
He's still with AIW, but he doesn't do he's ring announcing forever.
Right.
But like he was the main ring announcer, and there was a time like he'd go back and forth between that and commentary. And he was really good at commentating too.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, you are the sup Pedro. Because like you are so good at both. And Dylan too.
Dylan's the man.
Dylan is the
man too.
Dylan is one of my top 2 play-by-play guys. Him and he's more from this area and Western PA, Joe Dombrowski.
Oh, okay.
Those 2 play-by-play are fantastic, and I don't know how many people could truly touch them.
Yeah.
Dylan can do great alone. Like
there's a guy that's pretty good too. Those 2 are remarkable, but there's a guy in AEW, Tyler Volts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know if you've ever heard of him. That dude's the man too. So shout out to Tyler on this one if you hear this. So yeah, those guys are great. Absolutely. I think if I had to pick with Jesse, I would say probably ring announcing, because there's like that mystique, like it's and he drops the F-bomb and it's loud and it's like that. It's got like that grunge metal vibe, So it's just like it electrics a room,
He gives like that Southern Underground Pro its voice. Like,
absolutely.
Like Dylan is definitely the voice when it comes to the commentating.
Oh yeah,
and him, like I said, him and Jesse great together. But when you think like WWE, sometimes like back in the day, like you hear Howard Finkel, and like that's one of the most iconic voices.
Absolutely.
That's
like Jesse has that with Sup. Yeah. Absolutely.
When he got to do it for the family reunion.
Oh yeah.
Oh, like
that was like one of the talks of that day.
Yeah.
Was just him just commentate. I mean, not commentating, ring announcing.
Yeah.
And it was it's insane.
He's so good at that.
So good at that. So good at it. That was a good show too. I think Sup, like, I mean, all the promotions are great, but I think really Sup brought like hey, this is what we do and this is what we're doing. It's that hard hitting, guns blazing, hard rocking. Here we go. So
6 great up and coming names. For one reason or another.
Absolutely.
And
was it Mr. Brickster, O'Shea Edwards,
Brett
Eisen, Kevin Koo, Dom, and then Cabana Man Dan.
Like,
those are all great. They're all great in their own way.
Because I think
they all bring something different.
I think Brett was having trouble getting other bookings. I don't know if he got any more. My big hope was next year at WrestleMania, because he did so well, that there's companies that are running in Tampa that go, we want you.
Right.
Because dude flat out deserves it. He has that look, and
he does. He's a big boy.
I love that they've because of the last Sup show's flyer that he looked like Kane.
Yeah.
So he played Kane's music.
Yeah.
There was a picture of a Kane figure, and I swear to you, that to me that looked like Brett.
Yeah,
like
I can see
like
that. I see the
and everything. I'm like, just put a little towel over him. That's freaking Brett.
Yeah. I totally agree with that one for sure.
So you come from Maryland, did college in Iowa, and you played football.
Yeah.
But who's your professional team? And I'm asking this without actually knowing the answer.
Yeah. Let it rip. So I have a hard time with this question, because like it's changed as of late, because just how my buddies play. Like my best friend George, he plays for the Niners, so like he's all pro tight end. He just broke the record for most receiving yards as a tight end in a single season ever. Wow. And so like his jersey right now is in Canton, Ohio, and it for however long it is until somebody breaks that record. But anyway. So huge fan of the Redskins.
Okay.
So that was my team for the longest time, till about when George got drafted to the Niners. Kind of. So like I'm kind of like back and forth with them, but I just watch football just to love it.
Oh yeah.
So I don't really get to watch that much Sunday games anymore, because I'm always, ever since like college, because like Sundays after our games and stuff, we would have like film work, a little kind of conditioning thing and corrective work, and like go from there for the next week to prepare for the next week. So like I didn't really get to watch much Sundays for the 5 years I was at Iowa, and then now it's I'm trying to wrestle all the freaking time. So So like I don't get to watch that much of it, but yeah, I guess to answer your question, Redskins, a little bit of Niners.
I was kind of afraid because the Maryland background. I'm like, oh, is he gonna be a Ravens fan?
No, because I hate the Ravens. Can't stand them.
Because I had that a little bit with O'Shea.
Can't stand him. Me and O'Shea go back and forth all the time. Can't stand him. I can't stand him. And I like Ray Lewis and like all that stuff, but I just don't like the Ravens. I just don't like them.
Would that be probably like?
It might be that Baltimore DC kind of thing because I was in Maryland. Like I was my like family and stuff is all from the DC area, so there's like that little rivalry of the Beltways.
I could see that because it's here. Our big rivalry is Pittsburgh.
Right. Yeah.
Like as a Browns fan, you hate.
Yeah, you hate them. You hate the Ravens, and obviously you hate the Bengals.
But it's Steelers the most.
Well, absolutely. I know that. Yeah, for sure.
Like I've always said too, because ironically enough, when I first seen the Iowa jerseys, they look too much like Pittsburgh jerseys.
No, they are. Hayden Fry, our legendary coach at Iowa, his favorite team was the Steelers. So that's what. Yeah. So that wasn't a coincidence. That's literally totally.
There was so many times I had to do double takes. So like someone wearing a jersey, I'm like, is that? Oh, that's Iowa.
Yeah. I like our jerseys. Pittsburgh.
For me, it's definitely that. Some of their throwbacks aren't too bad. Their yellow numbers on black jersey, I actually think looks good.
Yeah.
When they do the reverse, it looks horrible. When they do the stripes, it looks horrible.
Yeah, they look like bumblebees. Yeah.
Everybody's like, even like a lot of Pittsburgh fans will go, I hate that jersey.
Yeah.
And that's when you know you have a horrible jersey.
Right.
And then my other team too, because I'm not only a Browns fan, I'm a Bears fan.
Are you really?
Yes.
Yeah.
So even they had a striped jersey back in the 90s.
Yeah.
That thing was cool.
Yeah. That royal dark blue and orange.
It's I think a throwback to I'm thinking of the one that's a throwback to the 20s. That's horrible. But then they have the other throwback, which is like the blue with orange numbers.
Yeah.
Like that one looked.
Yeah.
I like that one.
You do?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
I actually have 2 throwback jerseys of Sid Luckman and Bronco Nagurski.
Oh, wow.
Of like when they came out with those
guys,
they threw those like special
legendary
ones. Yeah.
How do you feel about the Browns throwback ones? The color rush, all brown and orange numbers. It's kind of the same thing, kind of.
It's
right?
kind of in like that was the jersey that Baker Mayfield debuted in. Mm-hmm. So that like has no one's come out and said it, but I think that's like we'd love it because that's also what it represents. Like when
Baker's the man.
Love.
How can you I hate when people bash on him. I don't get it. He's literally like what America is. Like that underdog. Like he's been through everything.
Yeah.
He's scratched and clawed. To be where he is.
And that's similar like for us as a fan base.
Yeah.
Because like how many quarterbacks we went through.
Oh my God. What? Since 99, 20-some quarterbacks, right?
We had the infamous jersey that someone put in a store window. And it started off with couch, and then there's it's crossed, and then there's all these masking tapes of every name, and then it's crossed off.
Yeah.
They retired it a couple years ago, but I think they recently put it back out, but they put a Baker Mayfield jersey on it. Yeah. Just to be like this has to be it.
It has to be. It has to be. I think it's time. And then when you look at the team and you look at the depth chart and you look at the schedule and just they're one of the hottest things going. Yeah. I mean, they had a hell of a run at the end of the year.
Yes.
So I see the Browns winning the AFC North.
And
that might be a bold statement for me to say, but I see it. If not, they win 10 wins, hands down.
O'Shea actually said the same kind of similar thing of he even thought the Browns will win the division.
Yeah, dude. The Bengals are on a reset mode.
Yeah.
I don't think Lamar Jackson he's a great athlete, tremendous athlete.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's the pro quarterback. I don't think he can make all the throws. That's just me. But, doubt me. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, who knows? And then I think Pittsburgh's they're rocky right now. With all the stuff going on. They've
been the team in the
Absolutely.
AFC. Not even the AFC North, but the AFC. When they get knocked down a peg, it's they barely miss the playoffs.
Right.
They're still competitive. So to have them as the top team in the division.
Yeah.
Is always the worst thing. And they're we're neighbors with them. And they're the one
similar towns, I think. I feel both steel town kind of.
Basically.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, no, I get it. I get why you hate Pittsburgh.
And then for so many years we've had to hear about, we've got 6 Super Bowl rings and we're the best. And where it's what do you got? We have.
Yeah.
We have X amount. I forget. I think it's like
a bunch of NFL championships.
I think it's 3 NFL championships, 3 AAFC championships.
Oh wow, yeah.
Which, on a side note, I always like get in debates with even Browns fans. They're like, "Those are championships." I'm like, in another league, like that's. Yeah, that's foreign money. That's like saying, "Oh, I have $100 bill." Yeah, you have $100 Confederacy bill. Like, right? That's not really worth as much. Like, you can't spend that.
No, in the Super Bowl era, the Browns have 0.
Yeah, but we have 0. But I always count especially with being a Bears fan, and I count NFL championships from the beginning. And to me, like,
makes sense. Yeah,
the Packers are all the years that they have been champion. Yeah. Like I think they're at
the Lombardi
14.
area.
Yeah. And also to watch them versus the Steelers in a Super Bowl.
Yep.
It was the worst day of my life.
Oh, yeah.
Just because I didn't know who to root for, but I think I picked the Packers because I couldn't hear, "Oh, we got 7 Super Bowls. We're the greatest team ever." I'm like, yeah, I can't.
Like, no way.
No. And then
I think that was a good game, though.
It was.
Yeah.
I think that was like almost Aaron Rodgers coming out party, but
it was at 2012, yeah.
He had to prove it.
Yeah. Yeah, he did. That was a hell of a game.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Before we get it, because we end these with Fave 5 questions.
Yeah,
which is just but before we get into that, actually, I want to give you a chance to talk a little bit directly about yourself, because there's definitely a lot of people who don't know who you are from this area. And
absolutely.
I want people to know, like, it's like, yeah, you've done SUP, you're now here, UXWA, but like help sell the listeners to
who's the one called Manders.
Yes.
Oh God, who's the one called Manders? Hardworking guy, attitude, toughness, physical. Pro wrestling is similar to a rodeo, and it's so pro wrestling is like a rodeo, and I'm its cowboy, and
Cornbelt Cowboy.
Cornbelt Cowboy, exactly. Yeah. So, played football and all that good stuff, and now doing the pro wrestling world and trying to take it by storm.
And you've mentioned you were trained by
Seth Rollins, Merrick Brave, and Sami Callihan. So, yeah.
I think of like pedigrees to come from, like right now, Seth.
Absolutely. I mean, dude's Universal Champion. He's the top babyface in WWE, which is the biggest wrestling company in the world.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's pretty good to have that. Yeah, for sure.
And you said only 2 years in.
Only 2 years in. So 2 years and 1 month or 25 months, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. Yeah. Last month, April was was 2 years during WrestleMania.
Plenty of road traveled and plenty more to go.
Yeah, plenty more to go. We ain't stopping. Another highway, another town. We're just gonna keep it rolling. We just keep it rolling.
All right, we're gonna wrap this up right now with the Fave 5 questions. In the spirit of Booker T, there's 6. So,
God damn, that's funny.
Let's start off with bacon or sausage.
I had bacon and sausage this morning. I had both. I guess I go bacon.
Okay.
Yeah, if it's nice and crispy, that's no brainer.
Okay, because that was going to be the kind of follow up for that is crispy or not crispy.
Yeah, crispy.
So crispy.
It's got to be.
Not a fan.
Even if it's burnt, I'm still with it.
Oh, I can't.
Yeah. I don't like chewy.
I love chewy.
I like chewy. Yeah, it's not chewy bacon. No.
Question number 2. You were born in Maryland and went to Iowa, so you on both sides of this. How do you feel about ketchup on hot dogs?
If it's just ketchup and nothing else, I don't like it.
Okay.
If I'm going to put ketchup on my hot dog, I got to have mustard with it too. Mm-hmm. And then I got to have relish on it. So make that 3 combo.
Okay.
But I am a mustard guy. So hot dog on a mustard. Mustard on a hot dog, sorry. And a little relish. I'm totally okay with that.
Okay.
I would be A-okay with that. So if ketchup didn't exist, I would still be alive. So,
question number 3: wings, bone in or out?
You got to have bone.
Okay,
got to. You got to. So my reason with that is it's just chicken nuggets at that point. Yeah. But there's nothing wrong with chicken nuggets. But I think when you have a classic wing, right, and it's got the bone in it, it adds more flavor.
Okay,
and that's what I like. So.
That's kind of I always call it it's a trap question, because I want someone to give me their definitive reason why bone out's the.
Yeah, they say bone wings with bones in it have more flavor for the meat. So
I believe it.
Yeah, so, some chef told me that. I don't know the nutrition reasons or whatever, but yeah. It definitely tastes better, I think, because sometimes like the boneless wings, like they're too thick.
Yeah,
like they're too thick nuggets, and like it's like dry sometimes. Not all the time, but like when you go to beat up, sometimes like they get like super large nuggets, and you're like, Jesus, like I'd rather have wings. Hands down. That's the majority of the people who have actually, no, I think it's everybody who's been asked that question. Really? Nobody has given me the no. This is why the boneless wings. Yeah. Nobody. Well, there you go. Question number 4: Chicago style, New York style pizza. See, I would say New York. Okay. I'm a thin crust guy. Yeah. New York pizza's big and it's floppy, right? So I'm more of a cup guy where I fold it and then. Okay. I like that. That's how I eat my pizza. Mm-hmm. Sometimes, I mean, don't get me wrong, Chicago pizza is amazing. Like I had it a week ago. Whenever I was at AW, I think it was a week ago. Yeah, it was a week ago. Yeah. And my dad bought Chicago style pizza, and it's good, but you can only eat like 2 slices. It's so thick, And then they put it's amazing. Don't get me wrong, it's amazing. But if I had to pick, I would say New York. Okay. I'm definitely more deep dish, but it's so good. No, it's good. Like it's not off. The funny thing is, like, if you get someone from New York, that's the devil. They'll tell you why it should, like, that's not pizza. Like, that's too thick. It's this. I'm like, right. I'm like, it's still pizza. It's just bread. It's like, it's still good. I don't care if I have to eat it with a fork. It's good. Yeah, that's another thing too. Like, people like swear by it. Mm-hmm. You cannot use a fork when you eat pizza. Really? Oh yeah. I was thinking, like, people from Chicago. So I'm like, who the hell from Chicago says that? That's scary. No, just in general. Okay. Yeah. And even I think the same thing. I'm like, come on, man, fork, really? But like, it's your food. I get it. It's so good. No, I get it. So good. So good. Question number 5, we have the Wilkman question. And is Die Hard a Christmas movie? That's a tough one. Like, yes, and then no. Like, obviously, it came like during Christmas. Mm-hmm. And like, well, yeah. Well, if it's in the Christmas era, right. But I don't know. It's a great movie, though. Yeah. The way I look at it is, okay, it's Christmas Day. Right. You're about to pop in a movie. Yeah. Would you consider, or are you going to grab Die Hard and put it in? Probably not. Okay. Unfortunately. Probably not. I love Die Hard. Yeah. Like, I've seen it like maybe like 7 times probably. But it's just weird. Like, I guess for traditions for me, like, when you do Christmas, there's few things you do. You watch football, bowl games, or whatever, or you watch all the Christmas stories you used to have, like Rudolph and all that. So yeah. Well, it was Bad Santa. It's Bad Santa. There's a question for you: is Bad Santa a Christmas movie? I mean, technically yes, but I always said would you watch it for the family? Well, family, like that goes because there's people that'll throw on the Christmas horror movies. So right, I mean, true. And that's like it's like. I didn't know about it until recently because I knew about a couple, but I'm like, guess there's way more out there. Yeah. So like that's a different genre. Yeah. The way that I've always explained it to is there's holiday movies and there's Christmas movies, and I think sometimes people say Christmas and they mean holiday. That's good. Yeah. Like, okay. Home Alone is a holiday movie. Absolutely. And it's a Christmas movie. But Die Hard is a Christmas movie, not a holiday movie. Yeah. So that's where I come from. That's a good point. Okay. Yeah. All right. So then I'll agree with you. It's a Christmas movie. Mm-hmm. But it's not a holiday movie. Okay. Perfect. Okay. But what is your favorite Christmas movie? Oh, you put me on the spot. I have a lot. The one that's coming in my mind is King of Kings. It's like an old late 1960s movie. Okay. And it's about just the story of Jesus Christ. Yeah. I'm not a super like religious person at all, but like that movie always. We are in a church. Yeah. Yeah, we are in a church. You're right. Yeah. So that's a movie for me that like since I was 7 years old. Yeah. He's just always watched it. It's good. That's an oddball answer. And that's like, would you get people that throw that like a good curveball? Like, okay, because, hey, that's your favorite. That's my favorite. Yeah. King of Kings. It's good. All right. Old 60s movie. And question number 6, which I tailor around my guest. Right. For you, because like, I don't really know. And I want to go more for when you were growing up. Who was your favorite wrestler growing up and why? I don't want to say your favorite wrestler now because you might be really partial to Seth Rollins. So right, yeah. I got a bunch of answers to that. So when I was little, the first thing I remember was Stone Cold Steve Austin. Yeah, and that was my guy. I dressed up as him for my for one of my communions, actually. Yeah, believe it or not. Since we're in a church and, we're saying all this stuff, that was like one of my first things. And they were outraged.
Wow.
Yeah, they were like, so who are you supposed to be, Steve? And I'm Stone Cold Steve Austin. I'm the toughest SOB in the WWF, blah, blah, blah. And they were just like, they told my mom, like, he cannot do that.
Did you recite Austin 3:16?
I did not. That would have been funny, though.
Especially if you would have gave it the whole promo, or at least the part about that. You like sit there thumping your Bible, talk about your Psalms, talk about your John 3:16. Austin 3:16 says, I just whipped your ass.
Oh my God. But also, too, I obviously like WCW, too, when I was little.
Okay.
But I would say Sting, like Crow Sting. So Sting and Steve Austin were like my two that like I loved, and then I loved Hollywood Hogan. I thought he was so cool. Mm-hmm. And then as like you've been wrestling now, right? And you watch so much wrestling now. Like there's guys like obviously like Seth and CM Punk, Triple H, Steve Williams, Stan Hansen, Gary Albright. Like that's kind of like my style, and those dudes I really like. So. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a bunch of people, but as a whole, love pro wrestling. I guess the first person is Steve Austin. He's the dude.
That makes so much sense.
It makes so much sense. That's not why I'm bald, though. I'm just throwing that out there. That's just a hereditary thing. That just happened.
You got the Austin top, the Hogan facial hair.
Hey, man, I don't know. The Fu Manchu is pretty normal in Iowa, so.
You can get a blonde. You can just paint in the rest.
I said that one
Hollywood.
time playing football because I actually did this once. I did the Fu Manchu, and then I had the mullet and then the racing stripes and stuff because I loved Eastbound and Down. Okay. And yeah, I was like, what if I dyed my mustache blonde and stuff? And they were like, well, you're not a wrestler, so do not do that. Like, you're like my buddies were saying that like you'd look like an idiot, but who cares?
That is what it is. Any final thoughts or last minute plugs before we go?
Yeah, thanks for having me on. You can follow me at on Twitter and Instagram at @Called_Manders. You can or type in Cornbelt Cowboy.
Yep.
Some people say corn feds, Cornbelt, right? It's all good. And then Facebook, same thing. So
yep.
Yeah.
All right, man. Thanks for going on.
No, thank you. Appreciate it.
I'm glad to see that no one has left. But now you're asking yourself, Dr. Dan, are you going to tell us what the DCR system is? And I will tell you now. The 3 simple principles that change everyone's lives: dedication, confidence, and respect. D, C, and R. If one is dedicated to themselves, confident in oneself, and respectful of oneself, there is nothing that they cannot accomplish. Those 3 principles are the building blocks of anything you wish to achieve. If you just remember D, C, and R, there is nothing that you cannot accomplish. But sometimes you feel that isn't enough. Sometimes you need to be a little more focused on the task at hand. But don't worry. To go along with dedication, confidence, and respect, you can always remember rule number 1.
And once again, that was the one and only, the one called Manders, Steve Manders. And it was really awesome to have him on the show and, have him in this area. It's really cool to watch people in different territories and see them come into your territory. I felt the same way with Marco Stunt, coming up here finally at J-Lit, and even some of our guys, some of our Northeast Ohio guys, seeing, Josh Bishop and Dominic Guarini do what they've done. So that's pretty much it. Anyway, let's wrap this show up. You can find myself on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at HeavySet330. Just like you can find this show on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, Facebook.com/WrestlingCheers, Twitter.com/WrestlingCheers, and Instagram.com/WrestlingCheers. Email, if you so choose to desire, WrestlingCheers@gmail.com, and we have the merch store over at WhatAmaneuver.net. Like I said, please rate, review, and subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, TuneIn, YouTube, Spotify, iHeartRadio, or Podbean, WrestlingCheers.podbean.com. Check out our friends on the Trending Topics Network, such as All Beer Inside, Eurovision Showcase, Old School at the Movies, and Wrestling with Altitude. And check out our other podcast friends, such as Pod Van Dam, Super Fantastic Podcast, Road Home from Wrestling, Kick Out at 2, The IndieCast, Center Stage, Sobros Network, UXWA Today, Big Gold Belt Podcast, the co-host wrestling show, Spotlight Series, I Got Your 5 Stars, and Not Ready for Prime Time Wrestling. And check out our other non-podcast friends, such as Thrift Store Jobber, The Savage Dash, PowerSlam.tv, use Wrestling Cheers all one word to get your first month free, Ringside Shots Photography, Sickening Pictures, Wrestle Void, Key on Sports, Stay Tough, Midwest Territory, Southern Underground Pro, and the official graphic designer of Wrestling Cheers, Moy Boy Designs. That will do it for us here on Wrestling Cheers, where everybody knows your name, especially when you're the Cornbelt Cowboy. Later.
Making your way in the world today takes everything you got. Taking a break from all your worries sure would help a lot. Would you like to get away? Sometimes you wanna go where everybody knows.